Yo,
Yo,
What up? What up?
welcome back. Week, what is it, 8 now? Radical Souls Fantasy Football League?
Yes,
hmm
sir. Week 8.
Crazy league going on. But I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Kenny.
Yeah, people who seen this before definitely remember Kenny. He was here way back when our teams were brand new and just starting and fresh out the draft. And since then, it has been rather insane.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like I was saying before, like this season, it is absolutely crazy with everything, disregarding everything that's happening by far within half of the season that's going on. It's been probably one of the craziest seasons that's been going on, fantasy wise, and even NFL, like in general, with this whole COVID thing going on. So
Yo, between
crazy
COVID and
thing.
injuries, that's
Yeah,
been crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Crazy,
speaking of
crazy.
injuries, Ethan, how's your team looking? Y'all healthy yet, or y'all got more injuries? What's good with that?
We're looking like an IR Winnie Hood general team. It's looking horrible.
Oh man.
Yo, you
Looking like
play
a hospital, bro.
Yeah, this is a whole bunch of Qs.
Yeah. That's no
Jeez.
good.
playing Kenny this
What?
week, yo. What'd you do to make your team a little bit better?
My team? Oh, yeah, I added AB, but he's coming next week. And then I
Oof.
added the Eagles wide receiver, the Colts defense, the Carolina Panthers kicker, and Chase Edmonds.
Damn, so you was ready.
But I mean, Odell just completely died playing defense, so I had to figure it out after.
Yeah.
Poor Odell.
That was like when that was even the first play, the first offensive play that they happened, and this dude just went down. It was just like, damn, crushing. I felt bad for him. I was just like, oh, damn.
He did,
Can we
he did
give
that.
like a background though on kind of where the league has gone now, where people stand, things like that?
So if everybody recalls, Chris was talking wild shit, and so we're Ethan about how I was in last. I have jumped up to eighth place now.
Oh
Ahead of
man. Oh
Ethan.
man, eighth place. Playoff
Ethan,
contender. Playoff contender Dan.
Ethan is in 10th, 2-5 right now. He has been struggling because of all the injuries to his running backs.
Yep.
And we have Chris and Kenny leading the league at both 5-2. And
Like, I don't know. I'm surprised I am where I am with MT Michael Thomas being out for such a long effing time that I'm so glad that I have my other players bouncing back. Like I thinking about it during the draft, I drafted Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay came back week 3. He sat out week 5, and then I was just like, all right, cool. You know, Mike MT is gonna be back week 7, so I thought he was gonna be back last week. I thought I was gonna lose last week because freaking Metcalf had like a horrible game. He only
Oh,
had
how many?
one.
Yeah, 2 points, right? 2 or 3
Like
points.
yeah, like 2 points. He had one catch during the whole game.
then he had that one towards the end that got called back because the holding.
Yeah. So when they went
Yeah.
into OT, I was just like, all right, cool. Like I think I'm down. Like I'm set. All I need is Russell Wilson to throw to like whoever, like at least 5 times, and I think I win this. Because I was at the verge of losing. If it didn't go to OT, I was on the verge of losing. Yet again, I did have the Rams going in on Monday, which fucking obliterated the Bears offense. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that from them, but yeah, I like with MT being now and even Eckler being now as well, my first 2 picks in the draft, I feel like I'm doing fairly decent
Nah,
Yeah.
with
definitely.
this.
Nah, you
So
definitely. I feel like your team's a lot more consistent, like or one of the more consistent teams in our league. Not gonna lie, because I feel like on a weekly basis, like I'm ranked number 1 right now.
I mean,
No shout out to myself. No
you
shout out
got
to
lucky
myself.
that like all your players got like double digits points
Yeah,
above
but
15.
I feel like every week I gotta be flipping my lineup because of injuries. Like
That's
I
a
Yeah.
gotta
fact.
be reaching out. Like I gotta. There's always a lot of shit I gotta be doing in order to, what I'm saying, get where I need to go.
And
Especially
the
your
thing
team, because what happened a few weeks ago to you, Chris, against Kenny?
Literally, Aaron Jones couldn't run. Like Green Bay couldn't run the ball just one more time. They had to pass it with, they were up by like 3 touchdowns, and they passed the ball in the, with less than a minute left instead of just handing it off to Aaron Jones. No, they couldn't do
Kenny,
that, and I lost by .76.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. So that matchup, that literally did that was a Monday night game. It was my birthday. So it was my birthday that day, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like I saw the game. I was like, oh, it's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is gonna kill it. Like he's been killing it for the last like beginning of the season. So all right, cool. I lost this game. Like I'm fine. Like I'll take the L. Like I don't mind. I come home from dinner and then I see the game. I'm like looking at the game. I'm like, oh, Green Bay's winning. I'm gonna check fantasy real quick. And I checked our league, and I noticed that he was down by a certain amount of points. And then I noticed that Aaron Jones wasn't getting touches. But then I noticed that Gage was still on the field. So I was like, oh, if Gage catches one pass, that's it. It's over. I lose. Seconds go down, game is over, and the points ended up being the points I got. That was the luckiest win I've ever gotten out
Bro,
of the whole season.
that honestly really pissed me off. Not gonna lie to you.
Yo, I remember Chris. I was like, yo, Chris, it's the second quarter there. Jones is getting the ball, dog. He's like, nah, I'm fine. I'll be straight.
Sure wasn't.
See, but
So-
that's the crazy thing about this season. Like, you just never know what's going on. Like, who is going off and what's going on. Like, DJ Moore, I think I was watching the podcast last week with John, and I totally agree with him. Like, DJ Moore, of course, Robbie Anderson has been the number one target for for Teddy Bridgewater.
Mhm.
But, like, he just came out of the blue this week and just blew it up. But again, it's like it's a hit or a miss. It's like Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley has had 4 good games out of the 7 weeks, which like 15 points. And like I was talking to Chris yesterday, like the trade that went down, like it's a big if, but it's a good if.
Yeah, that's,
know, 'cause,
Chris
like-
asked us on the minute that he accepted. He was like, "Yo, what do you guys think?" I'm like, "It's not bad. It's a good risk."
Like so I say it's a good risk because you gave up Boston Scott,
Yeah.
who is a backup, and Miles Sanders is going to be out this week coming up, right? And then they go into bye week 9. Then week 10, he's basically back. So you only missed out. You got basically a wide receiver that you needed because Godwin is out.
Godwin's out. Yeah, that's kind of
And
the
then
big.
Gurley is like, Gurley's Gurley. He's going to give you solid points no matter what.
Yeah, that was kind of the background of me accepting that trade, to be honest. So for those who don't know, I traded James Robinson and Boston Scott for DJ Moore and Todd Gurley. The thing is, I proposed that trade to him. So like, it wasn't even no crazy stuff that he proposed to me. So I had proposed it to him for that one because I really need like a flex wide receiver. Like my flex wide receivers are horrific. Like I'm always picking up people off the waivers to see who could just fit at flex. Like last week it was Boston Scott and he put up 18
Yeah, he
because
killed
he
it
was
last week.
the backup. And then I think the week before it was some other rando that did nothing for me. So like I need a solid like flex and I need a solid running back because now Aaron Jones is kind of hurt. You know, now my RB2 is Devontae Freeman now. Like, I mean, I needed something. So, and James Robinson is consistent, no lie, but that Jacksonville offense in general is always playing from behind. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's very hit or miss as well.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
That was my reasoning on doing the trade. So,
But like I told you, it's a great if. It's not like, oh, it's a bad if, because there's like two difference. Like if, like, oh shit, I'm gonna think bad.
Yeah, it's like the
You know?
Lamar Jackson draft night. Like that was a big if, and it worked out.
Exactly. Point example right there. Like the best example ever. They pulled the trigger on Lamar Jackson. They drafted him, pick 30th or 32, whatever his pick was, and look at him. He was a freaking MVP last year. So it's just a big if. You just never know.
yeah.
The one person I'm super surprised, and I'm upset that I didn't take him as my backup, which I think honestly, like I really didn't need a backup because like Russ to me is going to be the MVP, and it's going to be contention between him and Ron, fucking Aaron Rodgers, right? But Justin Herbert is one bad mother flipper, bro. He is one bad cat. Like there is he is hitting the stride. And the thing what upsets me more is there's so much talk about how Tua there's so much pressure on him because like what if Miami messed up and not drafting Herbert? So it's just like Herbert's showing up, but yet again, but if Tua doesn't ball, like Tua doesn't have as much options as freaking Justin Herbert.
Justin
he has
Herbert, yeah.
Keenan Allen and all these running backs and Henry and all these people. So like That's one bad kid, bro.
You can't sleep on Joe Burrow either, who Ethan
Joe,
picked
no,
this
Joe
week
Burrow.
too.
I don't say anything about Joe Burrow because he's a first round pick. But
True,
considering
true,
like
true.
Justin Herbert, he was gonna go last year before this draft, get drafted number one. They were thinking about him getting drafted number one, and then he was like, I'm gonna stay one more year, and then boom, this dude is killing it in the league. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I always think, like, if players stay their full 4 years in college, I think they become more of a successful quarterback in the big leagues. Because like in the last couple drafts, like quarterbacks that leave within the second year, third year, granted, like they do successful, but the second year, like Baker Mayfield really just
Oh
left the
God.
second year. Darnold left the second year. As you and I know, Daniel,
Yeah.
we're both Jet fans. So Jameis Winston left second year from Florida State. So a lot of these second year people, they're leaving and they're like, they have that one great year and that's it. They just go downhill. The only
Yeah.
person I know that played the 4 years that just like didn't hit the stride was Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot all about it. Such a good
I was
amount of
honestly, I was a huge believer in Mariota. I was extremely upset when the Bucks had picked Winston over Mariota. I had so much faith in Mariota, and wow, did that ship just
And
sink?
and now look at all that. Kenny named all those names, and those are all people that you would never think about. Let me pick them up in
Yeah.
fantasy.
Exactly.
No.
Or in fantasy, bro. Like, and the crazy thing is that Jameis Winston, knowing that he threw 30 interceptions, he went 30 for 30, basically, right?
Yeah,
But he actually had solid ass points in fantasy. Nobody really thought about it, you know?
that's
Like
true.
in one of my leagues, I was gonna trade for Cam Newton, and I'm like, all right, I'm so thankful I did not trade for Cam Newton because like he had a horrible game.
Yeah.
The week before, I mean, Patriots, that whole thing is just
Oh, I had to drop James White for I forgot who I picked up. I picked up Teddy Bridgewater because Deshaun Watson's on a bye week. So I was like, nah,
yeah.
I gotta drop James White in the meantime because they ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Which
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
there's
it wasn't a
talks
bad
of
decision. So
you have Will Fuller, right?
Yeah, I got Will Fuller. I also got Allen Robinson and Stephon Diggs and Julio Jones.
There's there I don't who they play tomorrow, right? Atlanta plays tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on
Talks about
Julio Jones.
Will Fuller going to the Packers. There's a trade might be ruined up in there.
I heard about that rumor. If that works out, that is gonna be big for me.
Yeah, he would be a second option compared to the first option, but that's like destroying whoever has Deshaun Watson, which is you, right? You have
Yeah.
Deshaun, right? It's just like
It takes away his only weapon, pretty much.
exactly. But it would help out. Like it would be like if he gets traded, the first option would definitely be either Cooks or Kenny Stills because Randall Cobb is always going to be in the slot.
Word.
So whoever's in the, I mean, I have Brandon Cooks. So if anybody wants Brandon Cooks, if that trade
yo,
happens,
I high key want Brandon Cooks. You're just not giving me any trades. I've asked for him week after week, and
yo, John be sending me trades for Metcalf, and I'm like, bro, Metcalf is not stepping anywhere.
I just want your bench players, guys. I don't want to. I don't want to take none of your starters from you guys. I
So
just
Chris,
want bench players.
I'll give you Joshua Kelly. You got no running back right now.
I got Melvin Gordon for you, sir.
No, thank you.
Oh, I was actually wanting to talk to Ethan about Melvin Gordon because I need a fucking running back.
We
I think
talk.
you need a tight end, right?
I definitely need a tight end.
All right, I have Janu Smith.
Ooh, I got Evan Ingram.
What happened to no thank you?
Yo, Evan Ingram's like, he'll give you 10 points. I'm saying?
Yeah, but
what's
the
the
thing with Evan
blue-ass
Ingrams is
move?
like, he's like like
He's very inconsistent.
it's not him being inconsistent; it's the offense is being
And
inconsistent.
Daniel Jones is inconsistent. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's a hit or miss. That's one thing that not a big disappointment, but a big like fail for me was anybody that's in the Cowboys. As of right now, after Dak went down, anybody from the Cowboys, their stats went drastically down.
Ethan knows he got
Like-
Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
And
he
then
still had 20.
with Andy Dalton going down, like this kid from whatever the backup, like we don't know how he's gonna work. It's like so
It's funny.
anybody that has Zeke needs to show up. Whoever has Zeke,
Eddie.
they better pray every inch of their body that this kid has to like ball
So,
out.
so here's the crazy thing about that, right? The person that has Zeke in our league, Eddie, he also had Kenyon Drake.
I tried.
Yes.
I tried trading him Chase Edmonds, but he don't want to. So
Oof.
Damn.
Yeah. So
And
then,
Kenny Drake
yo,
just went down.
yep, that's crazy.
Nah, dude.
And it's funny because I thought about picking up the Eagles defense, but to your point, Kenny, I got scared. I was talking to Ethan about this morning. I was like, looking at Dallas and the way they've drafted the last two quarterbacks, Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, they haven't done a bad job. So I kind of got scared. And I was like, I'm not going to even bother because the Eagles might implode.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the Eagles. So like watching the Giants game, like there's so much like things missing in that that thing. It's definitely offense. Like the wide receiver Fulgham, that's his name, Fulgham, right?
Probably. I don't
Yeah.
even know them anymore.
Um he's their number one option as of right now, with even Alshon Jeffries being out, now Deshaun Jackson being out, all these people being out, he's the number one option. And even with Miles Sanders being out, like that whole team is just
And
that
Zach
is
Ertz
the
is out.
offense of what the San Francisco defense is right now. San Francisco defense is missing their star players, and the offense of the Eagles is missing half of their star players. But the thing is that with picking up the Philly defense is a plus, just because they have good pass rushers, and has a horrible O-line. They lost like half their people. This dude retired, their center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left tackle, he's out for this season with a neck injury. So picking up the Philadelphia Eagles is like a plus.
I thought about it because I got the Bills too, and the Bills are playing the Patriots, and the Patriots are giving them mad points to defenses the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's the one thing that
So I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I'm on the fence OD hard. This is probably gonna be something I go into like tomorrow morning still debating hard as hell.
Yeah. I mean, like you still have enough time to like, because you have those games, you have those two options that play on Sunday. I mean, one is Sunday night, the other one's in Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So like it would be like a last minute 12 o'clock, like, all right, let me see all of this. But you also got to think about like, now that they have the backup quarterback for Dallas, like their number one option is definitely gonna be Zeke. Right. So you're gonna have to see like how Philly's defense is against the run game. Right. Even with Freeman being out, Goldman had a really solid game for him to like get a touchdown, get a certain, I think he had like 100 plus yards or something like that. He had a decent game where that has to factor in too. Like I would check out like definitely the last 3 games who they faced against running backs, and I'd see how they did.
Word.
See how they, because
let me
then
ask
if
you.
not, Bills defense, running defense is pretty solid, but they went down because they freaking faced Kansas City and freaking destroyed them in
Yeah,
the run
word.
game. You know?
That's true. That's something I never
Yeah.
think about.
So like me personally, I would stay with the Bills just because there's not that much options that Cam Newton has. The only great option he has is going to be Edelman, but they're not clicking. They're
Yeah,
not
it's
like
weird. They're not at
They're
all
like
getting anything together.
like Edelman doesn't see Tom Brady there, so he doesn't want to catch anything. So that's how I view it, you know.
Word.
So it's that would stick with the Bills for sure. Like as my idea.
Word.
Yeah.
And I got one more for all of y'all.
Oh, I was gonna
Chris,
say, I
you
got a question, bro.
So you ask Chris and I'll ask mine.
So how do you guys feel about AJ Green?
He's coming back slowly.
I mean, I picked him up on the waiver wires, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion. He's having like low key a little comeback the last 2 weeks, and I want to see if this is gonna continue to run now that he's kind of getting in his groove.
I mean,
Daniel.
Okay, now I was about to say like it's something that I said in the beginning that I feel like his problem with AJ Green was Joe Burrow is a rookie. You know, like AJ Green been doing this for years, so he's not used to throwing it to like a veteran receiver that's like, yo, dog, I don't want it here, I want it here or here, like. And I think that's finally starting to click between them two. And Ethan could talk a little bit more because he's a fan, so he's on that a little bit better. But I do think they're starting to click a little bit better now.
Yeah, I definitely I picked up AJ Green in the other league just because I feel like he's been doing solid. Yeah, it was bound time for them to click. Like it just takes some time for you to click with the quarterback. It's just pure chemistry. That's what it is. So he's picking up the chemistry. Like, I guess they're putting him more into the slot selection. Like in this game against Cleveland, they put him more in the slot receiver, and he had a really great game, like fantasy wise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think it was a great pickup.
What about you, E? What you think
What
of
about
that?
you, E?
He's got the
So
big
going through all the games, Joe Burrow's throwing for like 30 receptions and 300 yards each game. So you're gonna find AJ Green lately with at least 15 points. So easily, if you just find them and they find them in the end zone, it's a wrap. That's 20 points right there.
Yeah.
word.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thanks, guys. Really wanted some confirmation on that pickup because, as you guys know, I did draft him, and he was horrible in the beginning of the season. So I just needed some sort of confirmation. And I'm
Good.
glad.
That was definitely a great pickup. Like as a backup, like just in case something happens, like he's a great pickup because he can get you solid like 12 points, 15 points.
Yeah.
Now he's getting it, you know.
Yeah.
But
Now that
again,
I was gonna say, now that he's actually getting the ball.
yeah, but depends on the matchup that he's getting too. Like you got to check up on who's the defensive backs of the team that they're facing that exact week, or like what's their passing yardages that they're giving up. So it just depends, you know.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yo, so your boy is thinking about deploying Le'Veon Bell this week. They're playing the Jets. I think that they are going to whoop up on the Jets, and they're going to say, yo, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you've been great, my boy, but we need to give you a break. We are not trying to blow your knees out. Le'Veon Bell, destroy the fucking Jets. Do your thing. I'm deploying him.
You and I on the same boat, bro. As what he played for the Jets as a Jet fan, I want him to destroy the Jets. So if I were you, I would definitely start him because he's gonna have some vendetta that he's like, I'm gonna run for 150 yards and score 2 touchdowns, and one of them is gonna be receiving touchdown, bro. I see some shit like that happening, literally in this game.
I see the first play, like first red zone, they're going to be like, yo, come in. They're going to call him into the slot, and he's just going to score somebody and spike the ball in the end zone. I'm going to deploy him this week.
I would start him.
Agreed.
I would definitely start him. Let me ask you guys a question. Now, is it a great idea to pick up but this is an overall like fantasy question for anybody that, you know, watches this. Baker Mayfield. So
it depends on the matchup, I would say.
it depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
But when I was reading like statistics and all this, and as what they say in the sports world, analytics, he has better passing yardage without Odell in the game. So now with Odell being out for the whole season, what do you guys think is going to be his overall work around what he has? Because again, Cleveland bounds on that running game, which they have a running game. And once Nick Chubb comes back, it's over. That running game is going to be solid. But now that with the options that they have now with Odell, like analytics say that he plays better without Odell than with Odell.
Ethan, you want to start? Chris, you want to start? Who wants to start this out?
I'm not a believer. I don't know. I think this is one of those things that me and Dan brought it up, that sometimes you can't believe all analytics, dog. I mean, the way he's been playing, the way he's just been real shitty. Like, it's just been not good football. So I would say no.
But honestly, like he hasn't. I think
I wouldn't say he's playing. He's not playing shitty. He's just not like his expectations
it's not up to
were
par.
going to be.
Exactly. There you go. The expectations is not up to par to what they expect. Definitely, the coaching is definitely way better.
Yeah.
You know.
Ethan, what's your take on this?
What do you think, E?
As like a fantasy standpoint, I think Baker is worth having because they do throw the ball as much as they do against like anybody.
Yeah.
They do have those opponents like the Steelers, like the really good defense that will get maybe 10 points, which is horrible.
Yeah.
But going against like a decent defense or a bad defense like the Bengals, then he gets those high points.
Yeah.
Banking off of Ethan, like you definitely. I think it's a week-to-week thing. Where if you have him as a backup option, it's a better matchup. I'll definitely do it because you take away Odell, like you're not going to be forcing the ball no more. Like you're not thinking to yourself like, oh crap, I got to get this ball to Odell. Like you're not going to force it. It's going to be like when he first came, for Tyrod Taylor, and he had like Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry isn't as vocal with "I need the ball." You got Hooper, you got Higgins, you got damn, I just went blank on the other receiver they got, but they got the weapons, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Even,
So it's Kareem Hunt can catch the ball too. Don't get it twisted. So
I was gonna say even the
running
what was
back.
it called? The running backs could still catch the ball too.
So, like Ethan said, they're playing the Steelers. That is definitely a bench because the Steelers' defense is insane this year. But against like the weaker opponents that they might be facing, such as the Bengals, no offense, Ethan, not that,
Yeah.
but and any other bad defenses that give up a bunch of yardage, that's definitely the route to go.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of people would rather go with, we're gonna let Baker Mayfield's arm beat us than let Kareem Hunt run for 150 yards on us.
True. All right, I got another question for you guys. From the draft, what you guys originally drafted, who's the number one player that has been solid for you, and who's the number one player that's been like kind of a disappointment that you like kind of still have, but you don't want to let go of?
E, you want to start?
Like me. I think Dalvin Cook until he got hurt that 2 weeks ago. He's been the most consistent. And probably the biggest disappointment was Odell. Odell was probably the biggest disappointment. He only had one good week.
Yeah, that was the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed it with
Which who doesn't
touchdowns.
have a good game against the Cowboys?
Yeah,
exactly. So he's probably been the biggest disappointment that I had to drop.
Like the defense trick, like whoever's playing the Jets, you pick up that defense. Yeah. It's like that with whiteouts in the Cowboys. Whoever the Cowboys are playing, start some of them whiteouts.
Oh, literally.
Literally. So,
what about you, Chris? Biggest disappointment and best pickup?
Best pickup obviously would be Devontae Adams when he's healthy, and Aaron Jones as well. But biggest disappointment that I thought was going to have a really good season and he's just been really hurt. Noah Fant from called the Broncos. I feel like he's not consistent. Like he was supposed to have a really big year this year. He was supposed to be like one of the key targets for them. And he's just been hurt. He's just been on and off the field. I thought like when drafting him, I really thought I had a solid tight end, and I don't. So
I mean, you had a solid tight end. Let's be honest, but you traded.
I had more than a solid tight end. I had the tight end. I had the tight end.
The top three tight end.
Honestly, I expect you to say Godwin.
I thought you were going to say Godwin too.
I thought when you said Noah Fant, I was just like, that's when I said really. It was like I would have picked out Godwin because Godwin has only played like 2 games out of the 8 games in the season.
But
now he's out.
For my I feel like the reason I didn't pick Godwin is because I picked Godwin on a kind of, how can you say, like on a reach. Like it's like, oh, I think he's gonna be good. Not like the for sure. Like, all right, this is gonna be the guy that is gonna take my league and run with it. Like, no.
I mean, you did pick him first pick, bro. Come on.
All right, next.
You survived with picking Devontae Adams.
I did. I don't know how he fell that to the second round, but I won't say anything.
Daniel?
Best pickup definitely Stephon Diggs from draft night. Because I got him I want to say in the 3rd or 5th round. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And my worst one, probably Le'Veon Bell in the 4th round, just because the system that Adam Gase is running, I did not expect it to be that bad. Because even then, well, he's on the Chiefs now. We'll see what happens the next 2-3 weeks because I could flip around quick. But it was really just seeing the end of the season last year, how he was consistently getting 15 to 20 points every week. And I'm like, okay, he could still do that as Le'Veon Bell. And Adam Gase is just horrendous. So
complete trash.
Yeah.
Complete trash.
I blame Adam Gase more than Le'Veon Bell himself because once Le'Veon Bell gets on the Chiefs, we'll see what happens. But
and the crazy thing is that the Jets they played better offense with him not calling the game.
Yeah, which
it just goes to show you he's pretty trash.
Yeah. And the other one has to be Julio Jones, just because Julio Jones this year has been trying to play on injuries, and I've lost 2 games because of him, literally, because he wants to play on an injury. So I easily could be up there with you guys, but he wants to play with hamstring injuries and tear it in the middle of a game, or just be like, I'm gonna play just because my name on the field does as good. And end up losing. So,
and that's the thing. If you have, so that's the one thing with Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan will give you solid points if he's on the field. Like with Julio Jones being on the field, like he gives them more options. Just because like they're gonna double up Julio and that frees up Galvin Ridley to like go for like 100 yards and like 100 catches in one game. I'm over exaggerating, but it's like that's how it goes with him. So he needs Julio to be on the field for him to be beast, be
Yeah,
like
exactly.
MVP form, as we can say.
And that's why I kind of regret drafting him because it's like, damn, dog, you're gonna be out there because of your name and get me 0 catches when I could put anybody else in right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
But what about you, Kenny?
I think for big surprises for me, damn, I gotta check my team because I really haven't let go of most of my team, but I definitely the biggest disappointment for me has to be just it's not because he's out basically nearly the whole season, but like, bro, you really got to pull that move to hit your team player, bro. Like, just be a team player. Like, just don't hit him. And we know where I'm going with this. This is MT, bro. Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. You know, it's just like, come on, bro. Two big players that I picked up that for me, like going into the season, I was like, okay, I want one of these two players in one of my leagues. And I have one player in all my leagues that I have, and this other player in two of my leagues that I have. James Conner has been completely solid for me in everything I have him in, and Darren Waller. Waller, as when my buddy says, Waller the baller, because like every game he plays, he balls out. Like he just needs to have a touchdown, and he gives me already solid 15 points. So Darren Waller was one of the picks that like I'm grateful that I have, because not a lot of, if you don't have Travis Kelce or Kittle, you can't survive on, you know, the tight end. And not a lot of tight ends will give you that consistent points. It's only Mark Andrews and probably
Mark Andrews. Chris, you heard that? Mark Andrews. Anyways, keep going, Kenny. My fault.
Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and probably you consider Hunter Henry from San Diego. Wow, from the Chargers.
Yeah.
That would be like the second tier, and then everybody just falls right under that. So Darren Waller being part of that crew, those two picks were probably the best ones. Metcalf, I'm not gonna say Metcalf because Metcalf, he's all over the news. Everybody knew, but like Darren Waller was like that one was just like, all right, cool. For me, from out of everybody, I think the steal of the draft that like completely threw me off was definitely Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, I never knew Stephon Diggs was gonna have that great of a connection.
I didn't even know either.
I was just like, yo, that is crazy, like amazingly crazy. That was the one for me for the draft. Word. Yo, but Ethan, I'm gonna talk to you about Mr. Melvin Gordon for that tight end. I got you, bro.
Got it, sir. Because not it anymore.
Yeah, I know somebody else wanted Jonnu Smith because he needs a tight end, but need more of a running back. And you got your running back, bro.
Exactly, only 5.
I like how I asked for Jonnu Smith, and I never even got a counter offer, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yo.
And I offered you a pretty good, you know what I'm saying, trade. But it's okay.
Yo, we got like 15 seconds probably. Kenny, we appreciate you. Good luck for coming out. It's always a pleasure, my boy. Yo, always got the greatest
Everybody,
feedback.
good luck this week. Ethan, I'll see you on Sunday.
Oof. Man, I'll see you Sunday.
Later, bro.
Later.
Peace.